So good to be here. Thank you for letting me come and worship with you today. I've been here about 3 or 4 times, and every time I've come, I felt your love and your warmth, and it's a good thing, to come and worship somewhere and feel like people are so friendly. Real quickly, I wanted to say this song has a line that says, to heal every hurt and right every wrong. And I'm Cuban. I was born in Cuba, and I'm sure you've been keeping up with the news with Cuba. And Cuba's in a really rough place, but I've also been able to travel to a lot of other places in my life that, I've really struggled due to corrupt governments and greed and all of that. And so when I read those lines, it reminded me of that situation. Those same people are now worshiping all over the world, just like us. Sometimes I fall to my knees and pray. Come, Jesus, come. Let today be the day. Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna break, but I'm holding on to a hope that won't fade. Come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long for the day you return to heal every hurt, right every wrong. Need you right now. Come and turn this around. Deep down I know this world isn't home. Come, Jesus, come. Come, come. Come, Jesus, come. There'll be no wars, and there'll be no chains when Jesus comes. Let today be the day. He'll come for the weak and the strong just the same, and all will believe in the power of His name. Come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long for the day you return, heal every hurt, right every wrong. Need you right now. Come turn this around. 'Cause deep down I know this world isn't home. Come, Jesus, come. Come, come. Come, Jesus, come. One day He'll come, and we'll stand face to face. Come and lay it all down, 'cause it might be today. There's no need to wait, for the time is right now. All your sins will be washed in the rivers of praise. So come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long for the day you return, heal every hurt, right every wrong. Need you right now. Come and turn this around. 'Cause deep down I know this world isn't home. Come, Jesus, come. Come, come. come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus, come. Thank you. Hey, Chuck.
Morning, class. Today we were going to learn about how to approach a drowning victim in high seas. But I think there's some here who aren't interested in that victim. In fact, I think there's some in this class who aren't interested in saving lives at all. I believe there are some who are more interested in setting records. So today is Record Day. $5.28. Put one on the board for Goldfish. Wow, he's fast. He's good.
You got it, man. You got it, Fish. Another record.
Woo!
Chief, get some.
You are the man. You people do not deserve to be in the same pool as Jake. He's destroying you. Wow, look at him go. He's fast. Wow, he's fast. Come on, you're all fighting for second. Just first loser. This is fun. We'll pass out trophies later. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You want me to pull these pansies out?
You do not want to hear about my day.
Yeah, I do.
Man, this guy Randall, it doesn't matter what I do, it's just not good enough.
Maybe he's just trying to push you to be better. You know, we teachers do that to the ones we believe in.
No, it's personal with me. He knows that I'm better than he was. I mean, today, I broke every one of his records. I mean, I own them all.
Not all of them. There's one record you won't break. Siege's. Medical ship caught on fire. It was a nightmare. People burning in their beds. And Ben Randall got every one of those people off there except for this one guy. And right when the ship started to go down, he reaches down and grabs this guy. He's hanging from the cable with this man's life in his hands, and the winch jams. It's 20 minutes to the base. The man's screaming. Ben looks him dead in the eye, and you know what he said? He said, "I won't let go."
What happened?
Dislocated his shoulder, tore every tendon in his hand, but he didn't let go. 20 minutes, just fingertips. You break that record, and you give me a call.
So a couple clips from a movie entitled The Guardian, where Ashton Kutcher's character plays a young Coast Guard swimmer who's obviously full of himself, has lots of ego, lots of pride, and has a little bit of a humble check right there, and really figuring out in the movie whether all of his gifts and talents and skills are going to serve himself, or are they going to serve others. And sort of that theme plays itself out throughout the rest of the movie. In case you haven't seen it, I won't share how that turns out. Today, we're going to look at a character in the Bible who deals with much the same type of struggle. We started last week a series on looking at characters in the scriptures, and not necessarily the big ones like Moses and Noah and Jesus. We talk about those folks pretty regularly. We're going to look at some of the lesser known characters and see what we can learn from their lives, because one of the signs of wisdom is to be able to see other people's decisions and choices and see how they turn out, and maybe implement some of the things others do well, and maybe avoid some of the other things people don't do well, and apply it to our lives. So we're going to look at some folks in the Bible for the next few weeks and see what we can learn from their individual life stories. And so today, we're going to look at a guy named Uzziah. Anybody want to take a stab at who Uzziah is? A character in the Bible, right? There we go. Uzziah. That's all right. We'll get to it. That's fine. We're going to look in the book of 2 Chronicles. Anybody know where 2 Chronicles is? I know, right after 1 Chronicles. Yeah, that works, yeah. It's in the Old Testament. It's one of those older books back there. They got some kind of boring stuff in there, but they have some great stories about people's lives, and Uzziah is one of those people. Now, just for some context, we're in a part of the history of Israel where they are a divided kingdom. There's a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom, so that means there is a king in the north and there's a king in the south. Because it wasn't hard enough to stay together as one nation and make good decisions, they decided to blend two different nations so they both could make poor decisions at times. So it's just sort of an interesting part of their history, and that's where we find ourselves when they're divided, because Uzziah, as you're about to find out, is a king in the kingdom of Judah. And so for that, chapter 26, we're going to read verses 1 through 8, and then we'll pause and jump down and catch up verses 16 through 21 in a minute and see some of the rest of the story. So here we go. Chapter 26, verse 1. And all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king instead of his father Amaziah. So he built Eloth and restored it to Judah, and after the king had slept with his fathers, a reference to dying. Uzziah was 16 years old when he began to reign, but he reigned for 52 years in Jerusalem. Now his mother's name was Jecoliah of Jerusalem, and he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, according to all that his father Amaziah had done. He set himself to seek God in the days of Zechariah, who instructed him in the fear of God, and as long as he sought the Lord, God made him prosper. So he went out and made war against the Philistines, and he broke through the wall of Goth, and through the wall of Jabneh, and the wall of Ashdod, and built the cities in the territory of Ashdod and elsewhere among the Philistines. Whew. You gotta love some of the Old Testament names, don't you? Then God helped him against the Philistines and against the Arabians who lived in Geribbal and against the Meunites. The Ammonites paid tribute to Uzziah, and his fame even spread to the border of Egypt, for he had become very strong. Now, there's where we start with King Uzziah. King Uzziah comes to reign in Judah at what age? Are you serious? 16 years old. Now, because I know, I'm going to say up front, I'm not going to make fun of you. Jackson, will you stand up for a minute for me? There is your new president. He's going, awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Jackson, for playing along. That's what that would be like. It's like, hey, Jackson or any other 16, I know he's not quite 16, but close, a 16-year-old as president of the United States. Are you kidding me? Now, let me just go ahead and say right now, I know some of you think that's what we got now by how he acts. And I know some of you thought that a couple years ago about how that person acted. We feel like they're teenagers at times, but at 16, who's in their right mind going to appoint a 16-year-old to lead the country? Hey, class president, yeah, no big deal. Baseball team captain, oh yeah, sure, fine. Country leader, are you serious? At 16, no matter how smart, no matter how responsible, no matter how good you are, you simply lack the experience needed to rule over a whole nation of people. Yet, that is exactly what happens to King Uzziah. At 16, he begins to reign, and he reigns in a way that is amazing. They're prosperous, they're successful, they become strong. He is popular, and he has fame all over the region. Now, as a king, that's like the trifecta, the triple crown. To have as strong as a nation, we build up our military, we're strong, I'm popular, and I'm famous, dude, that's awesome. Because lots of leaders are strong, but they're not real popular. Lots of leaders can be real popular, but not really strong at all. Sometimes you can be strong and popular, but nobody really knows who you are. So to be strong and popular and famous, I mean, that's just like, oh, that's the holy grail. I mean, that's how awesome things are. And the reason things are going so awesome for Uzziah, did you catch what the reason is? Because he sought after the will of God. And because he was faithful and obedient unto God, that becomes the source of his success. He's also a wise young man, at least at this part of his life, because he recognizes he's following in the lines of his father and doing the things that his father did right. Now, no show of hands, no nudges, no looks around the room. How many of you look to emulate your father, men, when we were growing up as teenagers and young adults? He at least recognized, hey, my father might not have been perfect, but there were things that he did really, really well. I'm going to follow those things. And as if that's not enough, he also seeks wise counsel with Zechariah and lets Zechariah, who's an older, wiser man of faith, input to him, offer some suggestions, and help counsel him as his young age is leading a whole nation. So, Uzziah starts off and everything is going awesome. Everything is going great, and it's going great because of his reliance on God as his source of strength. Now, you already know where this story is about to go. Because while he starts off really well and he starts off really strong, he doesn't necessarily stay there. So some problems start to creep up, and here's what we find happens a few verses later in verse 16. But when he, referring to Uzziah, was strong, he grew proud, even unto his destruction. For he was unfaithful to the Lord his God, and entered the temple of the Lord to burn incense on the altar of incense. But Azariah, the priest, went in after him with 80 priests of the Lord who were men of valor, and they withstood King Uzziah and said to him, "It is not for you, Uzziah, to burn incense to the Lord, but for the priests, the son of Aaron, who are consecrated to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for you have done wrong." Imagine telling the king, hey, you are wrong, and it will bring you no honor from the Lord God. Then Uzziah was angry, and he had a censer in his hand so that he might burn incense. And when he became angry with the priests, leprosy broke out on his forehead in the presence of the priests in the house of the Lord by the altar of incense. And Azariah the chief priest and all the priests looked at him, and behold, he was leprous in his forehead. And they rushed him out quickly, and he himself hurried to go out, because the Lord had struck him. And King Uzziah was a leper to the day of his death, and being a leper lived in a separate house, for he was excluded from the house of the Lord. And Jotham his son was over the king's household, governing the people of the land. As awesomely as things started out for Uzziah, one thing he allowed to creep in ended up being his downfall, and that was pride. It was pride that led to his ego, that all of his accomplishments became about him, and everything that he did and everything that they were successful was the result of what he had done himself. And he lacked any ability to be thankful for all the things that he had experienced in his success. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being satisfied with your accomplishments and being proud of the things that you've done, but recognizing that it's not only a result of just what you yourself have done. And yet Uzziah allows his ego and his pride to get to the point where he feels like, hey, he's above the law. Hey, he can do anything he wants. And the power that he has begins to corrupt him in ways that you and I are very familiar with in our own world, in our own societies. I mean, how many institutions do you see? How many places are you involved in when you see that people have a little bit of power, how easily and quickly and completely it corrupts people who feel like they are above the law? And you think, well, what law is Uzziah above? He feels like not only is he accomplished as a king, everything's going great, that he's allowed to go into the temple, into the Holy of Holies, and to burn incense. And the priests are quick to say, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. You might be king. You might be an awesome king. You might be a king that God is blessing with victory and success and popularity, and your success is all out in the world out there. But in here, You, Uzziah, have not been called and consecrated by God to be a priest. Your place as a king is out there ruling the nation. The place in the Holy of Holies is for us as the priests. And Uzziah feels like, well, I can go do whatever I want. I can step into the Holy of Holies and I can do the things that the priests do. And the priests are like, no, not quite so much. And not only do the priests say not quite so much, God himself says, Uzziah, this is out of bounds. This is across the line. I have blessed you to be the king of the nation. I have not blessed nor called you to be the priests. You have your role and your function, and so do they. And they're not the same. But Uzziah's pride and his ego gets the better of him. And how unfortunate and how ironic that Uzziah, this once popular king, this once famous king, this once unbelievably successful and faithful king, is struck with leprosy and literally spends the rest of his life in isolation. Because as a leper, you're not allowed to be around people. You're not allowed to be in public. And so he spends the rest of his life alone because of his prideful heart that led him to disobedience. Not a matter of salvation, not that, but just disobedience. And as a result of the disobedience came the consequences of not being able to finish as king and to living your life in isolation. So you look at Uzziah, and there are a few things that you and I can learn in his life and his mistakes and his choices. One of the things that we can learn is that in the very beginning, our faithfulness and our obedience to God is going to be tied at some level to the success that we're going to experience in our life. Mindful that now that success may not always equal the things that we want it to equal. It may not always look the way we want it to look. It may not look in the ways that the world around us values, but our successfulness and our accomplishments are tied to our faithfulness and obedience and our willingness to follow God and his call on our life. Understanding that it's okay to have pride. It's okay to be proud. We're proud of our kids. We're proud of our spouses. We're proud of our neighbors. We're proud of people who accomplish things that we accomplish, but also making sure we attach thankfulness to our pride so that the pride doesn't lead us to thinking it's all about ourselves, and that our thankfulness recognizes who is along with us. The things that we're proud of, the things that we've accomplished, all the things that you've done, all the things that you've accomplished in your life. Make a list of the people that were along for the ride with you. Because it's not likely that any of us have accomplished the things that we've accomplished completely by ourselves. I mean, we had coworkers, we had employees, we had bosses that helped us do all the things there. We had partners, we had spouses, we had kids that came along, we had neighbors that participated. Hey, we had teachers who taught us the things that we needed to know when we were in elementary school and middle school and high school. Some of us went on to college and learned the things at college and grad schools. I mean, we were educated and taught by people to do the things that we went on to accomplish awesome things. We had coaches along the way. We had instructors along the way. And before all of that, you were blessed with the things that allowed you to accomplish the things that you've accomplished by your Heavenly Father. Because when you were born into this world, you were born into the world like everyone else, without the choice of what you would be and how you would be. You didn't get to choose, hey, God, I think I'll take an extra portion of intelligence. You know, I think I'll take an extra portion of good looks. I want an extra portion of being really, really fast. I want to be really, really strong. I want to be really, really wealthy. I want to be this. None of us got those choices. We were born with the talents and abilities that we had as a result of God blessing us. And so everything we've accomplished in life is in part because of the things that other people have helped us do along the way. Now, yes, we've worked hard and been dedicated and committed and all those things, but we didn't do it all by ourselves. There have been others around, if not at least God himself. Being able to have a heart of thankfulness allows us to keep pride in check. It's great to be proud, but not to the point that it leads to corruption. You see, one of the lessons that Uzziah failed to learn is a lesson for all of us, and that is to be good stewards of all that God entrusts us to. You see, Uzziah was blessed with wisdom and knowledge and success and popularity and fame and strength and all the things that he did to lead Judah. But he was blessed by all those things in order to serve other people, not simply to serve himself. And you and I are the same way. We've been offered and entrusted with things by God to be stewards of. And whether it's wealth or it's knowledge or it's simply time or skills or abilities or passions or the people that we're around, our influence, the places we have impact with. I mean, all the things that you have in your life are opportunities for you to do for yourself or use to serve others. It's the life of being a steward. And God says, I'm entrusting all of this to you. The choice is how you go about using it. And then lastly, we learn from Uzziah that he failed to recognize that while he started off really well and really awesome and going in a great direction, he failed to recognize that life is not simply a sprint, it is a marathon. And while you start off well, it does also matter how you finish. And he finished in a way that almost undoes everything that he did in the beginning. May we learn from the life of Uzziah and recognize the things that we've accomplished and our thankfulness and how we've gotten to where we've gotten and who's been there along the way, and that we're stewards of all that we have, and that it is important to finish as well as it is to have started in the life that God gives all of us as the gift to being a steward of all he's entrusted with us. Amen.